So last week, Chewie decided. The truth is, I'm actually quite a lovable chap. Chewie is a shit stirrer and gets us in trouble constantly. Whether it's calling Mr. Plunkett the C word and then getting a barrage of one complaint sent to us, inundated with one complaint, or whatever. Chewie brought this video along last week that he had been sent from someone. And Chewie, do you want to just give us in one sentence when the person said to you, how exactly did they describe it when they said, have you seen?
Yeah, so first of all, shout out to Holly for sending me the clip.
Holly!
Let's actually find the words because it was really good. But yeah, it was before the teachers' strike.
Yep. Yes.
And
have you seen this shit? Is it something like that? Have you seen this shit?
Yes. Have you seen this fucking bullshit? I'm so angry.
All right, let's see what got Holly so angry. And we played this last week. And I'll be honest with you, we kind of mocked it a bit. So this was Duncan Garner prior to the march, the protest, the mass protest by doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters supported them, ACC workers in there as well. You know, the public service, that massive strike by all those people. This was Duncan Garner's prequel to that and his take on it. Oh dear. See, that's why you need a producer. Turn that on. Now we go.
This Thursday's strike is an organised mass sulk. It's a piece of national drama. It's pure theatre. So they can all say, hey, we were there. And there we go. We got the T-shirt as well to prove it. But let's call it what it is. It's organised mass chaos to maximise disruption, to make sure the government and the parents and kids and patients, make sure you feel it and see it and suffer in some way. Make no mistakes, folks. It's not about justice or fairness. This is about making families suffer, about making your day more difficult, about making sure that you miss out on something and giving them a 5-day long weekend. That's what they want. It's also about this, extending Labour weekend. Justified? Hardly. Teachers got 30% increase under Jacinda Ardern. 70% of secondary school teachers now earn above $106,000. Don't come on strong, crying poor. Get back and get some results. Plenty of pay increases, and the results year on year get worse. These are story of the teachers. Let's call it for what it is, mass organised theatre. This Thursday's strike.
So you'll notice that he was only talking about teachers. Well, that's a good freeze frame. He was never talking about... Oh, he was a bit annoyed that you called him a cunt as well, Chewie, so don't do that again. He didn't talk about the nurses. He didn't talk about the doctors. He didn't talk about the ACC workers. He didn't talk about the public service. And he didn't talk about the firefighters. Although in the clip I'm about to play you, he basically takes responsibility solely, just him, for the firefighters getting their settlement across the line. We'll play that shortly. So that was what we did. And we played that and we had a bit of a look at it and we had a bit of a laugh at it because, it was worth laughing at. So obviously, I don't know if you got inundated, Chewie, but I got inundated with this clip. Let me show you the title here. Big Hairy Lies.
Oh, Big Hairy Lies. BHL, that kind of works.
Yeah, that's kind of, I quite like it. What they got wrong. Now, I heard you take a breath in there, Chewie. Do you want to say something before I push play, or are you chomping at the bit?
I just want a little bit of context here. We have spoken about Duncan Garner sporadically over the years as we've watched him rebrand this editor-in-chief project that he's got. And what we've watched is his slow slide to the right chasing traffic.
Was hardly slow. We looked at it at the start of this year and it went from he's always been, remember, this is the man who stated publicly he would have voted for Trump over Biden, right? That's the first thing to remember. So he's always been in that camp. Like, even if he's saying because Biden was a cot case, I would have had to, I don't know, but he did state he would have voted for Trump. So he's always been on that more sort of conservative side. But last year, and all you need to do is go and have a look at his YouTube videos, right, to see this. Last year, he obviously had his more conservative than us perspective, and he was doing a left and right and a balanced show sort of thing, and he was not getting cut through. Start off this year, and I remember we showed his YouTube page in our first few weeks back, and like 8 out of the 10 videos he had just done had Te Pāti Māori on the cover, hopefully looking angry if they could. And they were hitting Like they were hitting as in they were rating. So he found a little toxic vein of gold, and it wasn't a slow, I don't think it was a slow twist. It was like December, January, after the holidays. And he found it and he hit it, and he's been mining that toxic vein of gold for the whole year. And look, if all you're worried about, content creator, is how many views you get, fucking more power to you. Do the worst possible thing that gets the most possible views. Go for it. I don't want to live that life. You know, I much prefer to live the James Coleman experience of life, where he did the best radio show in New Zealand year after year after year, working for Channel Z.
Man.
Channel Z with the fewest number of audience. It wasn't the focus on the numbers. It was a focus on the quality. And, you know, he's going to make a quip at us being half his size. And this actually goes to show what happened, because last year he had far fewer followers than us. And then he did the stuff around Te Pāti Māori and a whole bunch of it started there, and his numbers just went through the roof. So what there is evidence of on YouTube is a horrific, toxic audience that will sign up to these sorts of things and grow you quickly. That's what is there available. And you can see that with influencers all over the world and content creators all over the world. The right-wing channels all over the world are bigger than the left-wing channels. They just are. And it's the same here in New Zealand. Platform's bigger than us? Sure. Garner's bigger than us? Sure. Platform took $2 million of investment to get there. Garner took a hard turn to the right to get there. And if that's what they're worried about, the numbers, good on you, boys. I'm worried about a bit more than that. All right. So this is the response. And remember to listen out for the bit that he takes complete responsibility and says it's basically all because of him, Duncan Garner, that the firefighters got their deal over the line with the union.
Duncan Garner.
So my producers have told me that the podcast has been promoted on other podcasts, which I didn't know about. Apparently, that people are loving it, and then they're showing it on other podcasts.
Loving it.
It's been highlighted and shown us what the other side looks like. So
Hi, Duncan.
What are they on? What are they on? Who are these guys?
Hey, Pat.
Yes. Yes.
We've had a great show with some great commentary and some great.
Are we leaving?
thinking.
We finished.
It's some really good takes.
Really humble.
Just before we move away from the strike thing for a bit, I just think maybe as a palate cleanser, you need to change your tone, right? We've had great chat.
Oh yes, very humble.
Let's hear the other side.
Just remember, he's about to brag on how big he is, and he's claiming other people who are obviously making jokes are claiming not to be humble. I just remember this. I talk about the audience that have been kicked in the head by a horse or something. He's about to play that.
Because we did get a criticism that we're not being fair and balanced, right? We had good people on with good opinions and good information.
And now it's the brain damaged? Is that the people who are being...
Yeah.
We're not representing the people who have been kicked in the head by horses. We have to be fair and balanced.
Oh, so this is their attempt at trying to be not so militant left wing.
From an idiot.
Oh,
okay.
So we've got Duncan Garner. We haven't talked about Duncan Garner for a little while. So
thank you for the promotion.
A friend of mine sent me this.
You've got friends
on Facebook going, holy fucking shit, have you seen this? And so I saw it, and now you have to as well.
Today's strike is an organised mass sulk. It's a piece of national drama. It's pure theatre. So they can all say, hey, we were there. And there we go. We got the T-shirt as well to prove it. But let's call it what it is. It's organised mass chaos to maximise disruption. Finally, this podcast makes sense. And to parents and kids and patients, make sure you feel it and see it and suffer in some way. Make no mistakes, folks. It's not about justice or fairness. This is about making families suffer. About making your day more difficult, about learn something, boys, and giving them a 5-day long weekend. That's what they want. It's also about this, extending Labour weekend. Justified? Hardly. Teachers got 30% increase under Jacinda Ardern. 70% of secondary school teachers now earn above $106,000.
Facts, are they, Duncan? Facts, are they? You're about to challenge us shortly to prove you wrong. Okay.
Don't come on strong, crying poor. Get back and get some results. Plenty of pay increases, and the results year on year get worse. These are the story of the teachers. Let's call it for what it is: mass organised theatre. Well,
so
there we go.
we just ask Duncan a
Noted
question?
shit cunt.
What about we even just ignore the teaching stuff? Didn't say anything about nurses there, did he? What about the firefighters?
Didn't
Did he
say
anything
anything
about
in
the
nurses.
firefighters?
But
Let me just stop it there. Let me just
Fine.
stop these idiots.
Sorry, Chewie. What I'd like for you to do, Chewie, is to be prepared for your lesson now. Duncan Garner is about to educate you. I've been
Teach me,
educated because I've
Daddy.
seen it. He's about to teach you what we should be doing and what we should know about him.
Yeah.
Okay, Duncan.
Let's stop them before they bury themselves in their own shit. For a start, no need to drop the C word. Why don't you call me and get me
Told
on?
you.
I'm quite happy to come on and debate things with you. You guys will know my number, and you're on email. You must have an email by now.
Not in Dunedin.
I'm available. Even 2 verse 1. That's probably fair now, isn't it? 2 verse 1. What bit of what I said isn't right?
What?
And on the firefighters, you insult yourselves. I had Steve Devine in there, who's a firefighter. You may want to listen to this in the Avondale branch. And it got so tough, he almost took his own life. And he came on with me for 3 hours. I interviewed him. He broke down, and we finally got the firefighters to the table with the government. And they had a settlement.
What?
Because of the interview we did with Steve.
They had a settlement because of his interview, Chewie. That's why the firefighters got a settlement, because of his
Who's
interview.
humble now?
Exactly.
Who's
Rather than
humble
calling me
now?
lazy, why don't you guys get...
Oh, you missed that because you told us of being lazy. We just got to be careful to get this bit, because being lazy implies you don't do any work. Kind of like Duncan Garner's doing right now when he's throwing out facts and figures that are wrong.
Got us to the table with the government, and they had a settlement because of the interview we did with Steve.
Yeah.
So rather than calling me lazy, why don't you guys get busier, do some homework, and see what I've actually done?
Okay.
And grow up. And I'm available to come on if you're okay. Hey, but by all means, keep promoting me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
What's the name of you got 20,000 subscribers. You're halfway there, boys. Keep trying. Thanks for the publicity.
There you go. There's the you're talking about the arrogance. And look, just let me say one thing, and this is a philosophy I live by. And this is a piece of advice. And Duncan, I'm guessing you're going to see this. So it's a piece of advice. Don't ever brag your numbers. Don't ever brag your numbers. Because then what happens when someone who you're opposing at the moment overtakes you is you look like a fucking goose. Like, it's just not a risk you need to take. Don't put your numbers out there like they mean anything. Because then when you get overtaken, you will be seen as a fraud. Yes, Chewie, I've got lots to show now. The clips and I've got data and stuff, but you go first, sir.
How much money has gone into Duncan's product there? The editor in chief.
I don't know. I mean, who knows? Rover puts it together. I'm not gonna worry too much about that either. I'm not gonna play kind of the pauper.
I'm just saying that the money that goes into this is organic, because it comes from our listeners as 100% organic earned listeners. Maybe it's different for Duncan. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was interesting actually, because we did a million views, officially a million views on Facebook last month. Well, actually in the previous 4 weeks. And someone said to me in the chat, it's hard to get cut through if you don't do a spend on Facebook. And I'm like, we've never spent a cent. Like, we've never spent a cent on it. And he was a bit like, oh, well, that's actually quite good then. So anyway, so he has said, what bit of this I said wasn't right. So he's saying, prove me wrong. Now, it's hard to prove him wrong on some things because there's a lot of shit take opinions in there. Shall I give you some of the opinions he said? Quote, organize mass chaos to maximize disruption and make sure the government, and to parents and kids and patients, make sure you feel it and see it and suffer in some way. That was one of his opinions. Hard to prove it wrong. I mean, I disagree with him, but it's not measurable so much. Other things he said about the strike, it's not about justice or fairness. He also said this is about making families suffer. Because, the whole service industry of nurses and doctors and firefighters and fucking teachers, they're all about just how we're going to make these assholes suffer, because that's the ideology they follow, eh? Now, again, can we prove him wrong? We can debate that point, perhaps. He also said that he's saying this to the people about the strike, it's about making your day more difficult. He also, these are direct quotes from that. I've pulled them out, right? He said it's about making you miss out on something. These fucking right-coded, right, alt-right, right-wing, whatever they want to be, snowflakes. What are you missing out on? It's about you. It's the reds under the bed. You're going to miss out on something. My God, that child's not doing PE the afternoon at school. Be still my heart. And the other thing, of course, it's about giving them a 5-day long weekend. Now, again, I think, and I'm saying I think, I'm not 100%, but I think some schools, my teenagers didn't have this, but I think some schools had a teacher only day on Friday. So I think it was like Thursday striking, day off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day. Okay, what about the nurses? What about the doctors? What about the firefighters? They didn't have a teacher only day. Now, those are the things that, you know, you can debate. However, Chewie, these are things that he said, which are measurable. Yeah. Quote, teachers got a 30% increase under Jacinda Ardern. Okay. Quote, 70% of secondary school teachers now earn above $106,000.
Now, am I right in thinking that if we just scrubbed from our brains, as I wish we all could, that these are things that Duncan Garner has said?
Mm.
But these are also things that Judith Collins,
I don't know if she said this. I don't know if she said the 70% thing, because I was like, my bullshit nerve went off, especially because you'll find this funny, Chewie, but a Scale A teacher, a qualified Scale A teacher, their top rate at the moment is about $103,000. So if the most you can earn to be a Scale A, that means you've got no management units, you've got no responsibilities outside the classroom. The most you can earn as a Scale A classroom teacher is $103,000. How that gets to 70% of secondary school teachers earning above $106,000, my bullshit nerve went off. Then I went and tried to research this, and I couldn't find anyone anywhere saying this. Now, maybe I didn't quite do the right Google search. I spent a fair bit of time, but I don't know where that's come from. So let's have a look, shall we? How about we have a look, for example, that teachers got a 30% pay increase under Jacinda Ardern? Well, we've got this thing called the interwebs. And on the interwebs, we can look at secondary school teacher salaries from 1980 to 2024. And on the interwebs, you can see under Jacinda Ardern, year on year, there was a 3.2% increase, there was an 8% increase, there was a 3.5% increase. And this one you can probably give to Jacinda Ardern as well, because it was after Chewie just came in. Let's have a look at exactly, and also I did some numbers on this, Chewie. You'll be interested in it. I didn't make a graph of this. I just wrote them down. So let me read them out to you. So here's something interesting to know. Like left versus right, how do they treat the teachers? Now, if you go back to the last true socialist prime minister, who is
Mr. Rob Muldoon,
he gave them a 15% increase followed by a 14% increase. So he gave them 30% over 2 years. Pretty amazing. And then basically nothing. Under Rob Muldoon, their average yearly increase was just under 6.5%. Pretty good. Longy comes in, check that out. Longy gave them a 40% increase.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And under Longy, followed by Palmer, so this is Labor, right? All the way through, they averaged 9.22% increase. So even though Muldoon was pretty generous, they are still under a Labor government, 9.22% interest. Bolger and Shipley, Chewie, you know your faves, Bolger and Shipley through here, Bolger down to Shipley, national government. Well, under a national government, and as you can see, 0%, 0%. Oh, look, must have been an election year, 7.5%. They average under a national government a 2.4% increase. So you've got national 6.42, Labor 9.22, national 2.4% increase average. That's average per year. And then under Clark, who did the whole 9 years, averaged 3.23%. Global financial crisis in there as well may have impacted it. I don't know, but still higher than the previous national. And then you've got Key coming in. John Key. 2.93, 1.27, 1.04, 0.49. That's just an insult. 212. Under John Key, 1.3% increase. And then
someone told me 0.49% is your pay increase.
Yeah.
Just spit on me. Hit me with bats.
And finally,
Drive over me with your car.
Under Ardern and Hipkins, this is an average. It's not the overall, an average of 5.7%. So under Labor, the last three Labors, I think, it's been 9.22% increase on average per year. This is on average per year. 9.22%, 3.23%, and 5.7%. Under National for the last three terms, it's been 6.42, it's Muldoon, and then it's been 2.4, and then it's been 1.3. So, you know, nothing's perfect, but you can see kind of who's better at it.
He's a little bit out.
He's a little bit out. So Duncan Garner, show me where I'm wrong. What's the quote? What bit of what I said wasn't right? 30% Jacinda Ardern. I'll read this to you. Research from today. Jacinda Ardern was Prime Minister between October 2017 and January 2023. At the start of her term, the top of the trained salary scale for primary and secondary teachers was $78,000. At the end of her term, we were still bargaining the 2023, this is from PPTA, by the way, bargaining the 2023 settlement settled in August 2023. So the top of the scale was from the previous settlement at $90,000. But if we generously carried on into Hipkins' leadership, so still Labor government, the top of the trained scale, salary scale, was just before the 2023 election was 95,400. That's an increase of 22.3%, from 78K to 95K. So Duncan Garner said 30. It wasn't 30. If you are generous enough to include Hipkins, it's 22%. Now, you might still go, shit, that's pretty good. However, according to the Reserve Bank calculator, CPI inflation between Q4 2017 and Q4 2023 was 25.1%. If teacher pay had kept up with inflation, the top of the scale should have been at 97.6 thousand, so 97,600. So they got 22.3%, which still didn't keep up with inflation, which is 25.1%. First of all, not 30%, wrong. Second of all, still didn't keep up with inflation. Next. The claim was 70%. Let's get the claim. Let's get the quote exactly right. 70% of secondary school teachers, it's an important word to use, teachers now earn above $106,000. Facts, Duncan. Top of the salary scale for a trained classroom teacher is $103,086. Now, around 68% of secondary teachers are on the top step. It's pretty close to 70. Nice. This is because it's difficult to recruit new teachers. This is actually a problem. The bulk of the teachers are those with experience who have worked their way up to the top of their scale. So the reason so many teachers are near the top of that scale is because teachers are getting old and new teachers aren't coming on in the numbers they need. However, remember the claim, 70% of secondary school teachers are over $106,000. In general terms, the way to earn higher than the top of the scale is with additional responsibilities allowances. They're called management units and middle management allowances. Teachers with those extra allowances are working in management positions. That's not your general classroom teacher salary. The unit or allowance recognizes those extra responsibilities. So 70% of secondary school teachers are not earning over $106,000. If 68% earning 103, you can't make up 70% of the last 32% to give it above 106. Now, what's going to happen is someone's going to come back to us and go, splitting hairs. Well, it's 103,000 and then 68. No. It's not the case. That's wrong. Your numbers are wrong. You said what bit of what I said wasn't right. Well, all the bullshit right-coded opinion, in my opinion, was wrong, but they did not get a 30% increase under Jacinda Ardern. They got a 22% increase, and it still didn't keep up with inflation. And they did, and 70% of teachers are not earning over $106,000. Nothing like it. And for the ones who are earning over $106,000, they're not classroom teachers. They're going to have some classroom teaching and some middle management units. So they're not classroom teachers. They're not the teachers. They're the management of the teachers. Chewie,
So come.
he wanted us to prove him wrong. We have. Forehand down the line. You'll serve, Mr. Garner. And actually, if you are the journalist you seem to claim you are, watch what I've done, you said, then this is where you retract and apologize. because you don't want any more of this smoke. Trust us. Chewie.
Gather around, children,
Fano.
and look upon the roasted corpse of Duncan Garner. Pour one out, if you have one to pour. I don't know. My whole beef with this is just how inflammatory he was in that initial clip. It was rage bait. It was absolutely right-coded news. Like, when we have enough of that,
Yeah.
like, why are you wading into a space that already has Plunkett, that already has Hoskins, that already has Woodham? Like, all of these right-wing commentators are like, yes, I have no understanding of what a teacher does, but I hate them. They're bastards because I have to get a nanny in or something. It's this punching down on people that just really gets my fucking goat. So there's been a couple of comments of like, you've picked a fight with Plunkett, now you've picked a fight with Duncan Garner. Who's next? Mike Hoskins. Let's complete the trifecta.
He's too easy. And this
Let's
is
go.
Duncan.
Let's swing for the king.
There's for Duncan. Just for when he replays it this one, right? Now you got to call him a shit cunt, and then we'll sign off for the night.
I've been trying not to say it works. But he is a shit cunt. Yeah. Hi, Duncan.
Look, in all seriousness, did we start this? No, we commented on commentary that we thought was horseshit. He then responded, and we're responding to his response. And you know, have you noticed that we aren't doing Plunkett? You know, Plunkett today was still talking about the BSA. Still talking about it. And remember, and just remember, you talk about why are they competing. Again, Duncan Garner has admitted that he'd vote for Trump. He would have voted for Trump. Duncan Garner fills in on the platform. They are running in those circles.
Head injury.
Yeah, the people who have been kicked in the head by the horse audience. You know, look, I mean, will he respond? Probably. Will we respond to that? I don't know. To be honest, people talk about punching up and punching down, and people mostly talk about punching down, meaning a bigger channel on a smaller channel. But I feel like if you're talking about doing the work, not being lazy, Duncan, like you said, we've just been punching down. Because, you know, the audience that's been kicked in the head by the horse is probably being led. What is it? The one-eyed man is the ruler in the land of the blind or something. Well, you haven't been kicked in the head by the horse. Maybe you just fell off the horse and you're slightly less damaged than them. So maybe we punch down.